Today I'm going to be showing you guys 4 different ways to rank higher when it comes to local SEO. Now, these 4 main issues are the most commonly asked questions that I get, even when I'm doing website audits, when I'm doing consulting calls. These are probably like the 4 most common things that continuously keep arising when I'm checking out websites. Also, before we get into the video, if you guys do enjoy the video, please remember to leave a like and also subscribe. I am doing daily SEO videos as well. Some of the stuff that I actually go into in this video was actually covered in yesterday's video as well. But let's get into it. So issue number 1 is matching the local intent. So what I mean by that is if we search emergency plumber Manchester, right? What you'll typically find is the intent behind this keyword is somebody has got like a leak and they are looking for a plumber right now, this second. Now, even if you were to take a look at some of the page titles here, right, a lot of the times they will be saying 24-hour local plumber or 24-hour plumber. Even if we would take a look at the paid results as well, so like the PPC results, even those say it as well. So plumber Manchester 24/7 pro emergency. Now I know we're not looking at PPC, but you get the point, right? The page title and also the content on this page is very, very much intent driven. So they've got a list of services that they actually provide. And it's very much call book, like it's got clear call to actions. Now, if we do another search here, which is how to repair a radiator leak, right? As you can see, this is a lot more informational. It's not too salesy. It's actually more helpful than trying to sell someone something. So as you can see here, if we click on some of these, so how to find the source of your radiator leak, why is my radiator leaking, what tools do you need to fix a radiator leak, how to fix a leaking radiator step by step. So as you can see, this is a lot more informative as opposed to trying to get someone to call or book in for an appointment right now when they've got like a emergency plumbing issue. Now, this is probably one of the biggest issues that I see a lot of websites doing, where they might be trying to be too salesy on a informational piece, whereas when it comes to an informative piece or an informative blog article, it actually has to match the intent. So one question I would always ask is, like, when you're planning out your keyword research, when you are creating blog content, when you're creating service pages, when you're creating local landing pages, ask yourself this: what does the user want at the end of reading this? Because in some cases, right, for example, how to fix a leaking radiator, they might not want to call out a specialist. They might want to do it themselves. So in that case, you might want to just be more informative, maybe have like the numbered step-by-step list like what these guys have done, as opposed to trying to sell your service. Like, even if you think of this video that you're watching right now, right, I could just say, go and hire me to do your local SEO, but that's just going to be a really crap video and people aren't going to watch the video. So I'm being more informative by showing you guys what you should be checking out for. So that's the mindset that you should have when it comes to actually producing your blog content, your service pages, your local landing pages as well. And also one little bit of an additional thing, because when I've done pages like this for clients in the past, like for example, if you're a local SEO watching this, some clients might say, well, this page here, if this is basically guiding people on how to fix the leaking radiator themselves, they're never going to hire my service. That is partially true. However, Google doesn't want to know what you do. It wants proof that you actually do it as well. So by demonstrating to Google you know how to fix a leaky tap, for example, it's going to then help you rank higher for keywords like emergency plumber Manchester or plumbers in Manchester. Because if you think of the funnel of your website, you want to have top of funnel articles, which is kind of what this is. You want to have middle of funnel articles, and that's kind of like comparisons. And then you want to have bottom of funnel articles. And bottom of funnel articles are typically the hardest to rank for. However, they've got the highest intent. Now, a top of funnel article, or sorry, a bottom of funnel article would be something like Emergency Plumbers Manchester. Now, the next tip is building semantic depth and also local entities as well. Now, there's a variety of different ways that you can obviously do this, but the first step is making certain that it is clear to Google where you're based, who you are, and what you do. So if we take a look at this, we are city centre dental. We do and implants. We're a private dentist, and it should say in Manchester as well. It's Google's kind of cutting that off. But if I just hover over the page title, you will see private dentist in Manchester, the name of the brand, which is City Centre Dental, and we also do implant clinic, or we are an implant clinic as well. So always remember, when it comes to ranking locally, especially your local landing pages, like your plumbers in Wyoming or your dentists in Manchester, you want to make certain you mention where you are, so the city, who you are, so the brand, and what you do. So dental implants, for example. Now, if I was to go to, like, for example, page number 7 of Google, you will typically start to see some websites that don't actually even mention any of that. So let me see if I can quickly find a couple examples here. So I've actually found a really good example, because these guys are actually ranking on page 1. It's not a competitive area by any means, but as you can see, Road Street Dental, and then they've just got home. Now, if we take a look at every single one of the guys that are ranking above them, so they've got Morris Dental Care, dentist in Oldham, right? Then you've got My Dentist, Manchester Road, Oldham. Then you've got Dentist Oldham, Synergy Dental Clinic. So it's very clear where they are, who they are, right? And obviously what they do as well. If we take a look here, you've got Road Street Dental and then home. So literally just by changing this page title, they could probably see like maybe a 2 or 3 spot jump just by the page title alone. It's actually crazy that they're ranking so high with such a bad page title. I'm going to assume they've probably got some form of decent link building. That's why they're probably there. But literally just by tweaking that one page title, it would help so much. Now, the next thing that I would also take a look at is to see if they have got the area on the actual, within the actual page. Yeah, so your local dentist in Oldham, Manchester. So they actually have got it in like the H1. They have also got like more subheadings here. A quick way that we can actually take a look at the subheadings is literally just by loading up this Chrome extension. This is the, what's this called now? Detailed SEO Chrome extension, if anybody wants to use it. But as you can see, they do actually have decent subheading structure. I mean, it's not terrible, but they've got Road Street Dental in the subheading. They've got Oldham, which is the area that they're based in, the subheadings as well. So it could definitely be better, but it's definitely not as bad. So that's another reason as to why they're ranking so high. One other strategy that I would also do as well is make certain that the homepage is actually got some form of schema on the site. If you've never used schema, you can run any website through this tool, and it will tell you certain attributes about the business. So what we would want to see is, like, for example, the telephone number, the business address, services that they provide, so on and so forth. So if we take a look here, they've got a little bit of schema. It's definitely nowhere near as what it should be. Let me see if I can find a good example of a site that's using schema. So this is basically the website that was ranking number 1 for dentists in Manchester, and I've just loaded up their schema. I assumed that they were doing something right, and obviously they do have a lot of schema in here. So if we take a look here, I'll even zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see. They've obviously got the dentist schema. Then they have got their Google Maps located. So they've got like their CID URL here. That's like obviously their map listing. Then they have got the name of the business. Then they've got their opening hours. They have mentioned they have got MAP. They also mention which type of payments they accept. They've got a little bit of a description about the company. They've got their logo in there. The logo actually doesn't, oh no, sorry, it does load, but it's an SVG, so we can't see it. They've got their business telephone number. Then they've also got like a lot of additional types. So what kind of services they actually offer. So for example, they offer dental braces, tooth whitening. Now what they've done, which is quite smart, and this is what I would recommend doing, is they've linked to like Wikipedia pages, so it's clear as day what they do. Then they've also mentioned knows about as well. So this is another type of schema. They've got their business address. They have got their rating reviews. They've got their business telephone number. And they've also got like their geo coordinate of their actual business address as well. If you want to take a look at their schema, head over to citycenterdentist.co.uk. What you can also do as well is if you want to use this template for your own website, you can actually just copy their schema and paste it into ChatGPT and get it to like ask you all these questions, and it will actually populate it all for you. So you don't need to be like a schema expert, because ChatGPT can actually do it all for you. This is a little bit of a tip that I would probably do. So I've just copied all of the schema from the schema markup testing tool, and I've just said, here is my competitor's schema. Can you ask me questions, as I want to use this on my own website? So basically what this will do is it will analyze the entire schema, and it will basically it will give you a schema based off of your actual website. So it's going to ask you like, what's your clinic name, primary website, main phone number, etc., etc. And then basically once this is done, is you can actually paste this into Rank Math. So all you would basically do is once you have got the schema, you would basically just copy it and then go to Rank Math and then hit the the schema section where it says schema generator. We can just click that. And then where it says import, we're just going to do JSON/custom code. We're going to click process code, and this will basically break it all down for the actual correct form of schema. And as you can see here, it's processed the actual code, and then we can just click use, and this will allow us to use the dentist schema. I'm not going to use it on my Kasra Dash website because I'm not a dentist, but obviously you can change that as and when. So another reason why websites don't rank is primarily down to their internal linking structure. And what I mean by that is, obviously before we were talking about topical authority, making certain we've got top of funnel articles, making certain that we've got middle of funnel, and then making certain that we have got bottom of funnel articles as well. But this, again, very much top of funnel article. Does dental implants hurt? This is the number one ranking result. However, what they've done, which this is exactly how I would be structuring my blog articles and my internal linking, is they have got a dental implants actual page, which is a service page. Now, somebody that would land on this page, they would basically want to request a consultation, right? But what they've done is they have internally linked from does dental implant surgery hurt? And they've also internally linked back up to their homepage as well. So when you try to do stuff like this, and when you're starting to do proper internal linking, you're not just uploading 300 articles just for the sake of it, that's when Google will see certain pages on your website, like for example, your service pages are more important than your blog articles. That's when you actually end up ranking higher for your service pages. Like if we just do space implant, we'll take a look at a few of their actual other blog articles as well. So as you can see, this is how does Invisalign work, and again they've got internal links back up to their homepage. They're also internally linking to their Invisalign page as well. So what you basically want to do is for each service that you actually include, you want to make certain that you've at least got 5 to 10 supporting blog articles. And the supporting blog articles are basically this: the how does Invisalign work? Does dental implants hurt? Those are the type of blog articles that you basically want. There are what I would consider being top of funnel, but you can use these as opportunities to internal link to your service pages or to your local landing pages as well. The last tip that I would give is getting local authority signals. So that could be citations, it could be backlinks. Again, so many websites lack on this. They might have really good on-page SEO, but by having just really good on-page, you can only get so far. And the kind of the sprinkle on top, if you want to call it that, is by making certain that your website is mentioned across the web by other websites. Now, link building in its simplest form is basically, if I have a link from BBC and none of my competitors have a link from BBC, then I'm going to basically rank higher. Now that's it in its simplest form. It's definitely not that easy. It's obviously a little bit harder than actually said or spoken about. But if we can make certain that we are being mentioned on dental directories, on business directories, on local directories, we can be in a really good spot when it comes to ranking our website. Now, what I would be doing here is the simplest way, if you don't want to be using any tools, is literally just by searching dental business directory. And as you can see here, there's like 2 or 3. We can change this to anything. So we could do this as being like plumber business directory. There's going to be loads of plumbing business directories. There's obviously national UK business directories as well. So you could do national if you're in the UK. I'll show you a few different ones that you can obviously do in the US as well. But as you can see here, these are mostly free as well. You could even do free UK business directory as well. And you can get your websites listed, like freeindex.co.uk is probably like one of the oldest ones that comes to mind. But if you are in, like, for example, if you're in Miami, you could do Miami business directory, and there's a load of Miami ones. You could do Florida, you could do statewide. There's no reason that you can't get 40, 50, 100 business directories. The one thing that I would say is that it is a little bit time consuming filling out the actual business description. So you might want to give this to like a VA, for example, to do. But if you're being mentioned on, let's say, 10 Florida business directories, maybe 5 or 6 Miami business directories, and then maybe some niche dependent. So if you're a plumber, getting listed on plumbing business directories. If you're a dentist, for example, getting listed on dental business directories. Really important, and it also goes a very, very long way when it comes to ranking higher. So that has been my 4 tips when it comes to ranking higher in local SEO. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please remember to leave a like. And if you want to work with me, head over to kasra-.com, fill in the contact form, and I will be in touch. Thanks for watching.